My name's Chris Davis. I'm a keto carnivore coach, and today I just wanted to go over my recent blood work. Full disclosure, I am 50 years old, closer to 51. I turned 51 in April. I have been ketogenic for 13 years and more carnivore for the last 3. And so it was time for my physical at work. And so on January 9th, I got my cholesterol panel back, and I thought, why not share it, right? Because what I love about this is that, right, they show the scary red and oh my goodness, you're out of range. Yeah, because the tests are based on carb burners. They're based on the standard American diet, right? It's high carbohydrate, anywhere from 45 to 60% carbohydrates. My nutrition is about 63% fat, 34% protein, and 3% carbohydrates. At least last time I did the digits, which I've reduced the amount of romaine lettuce I'm eating, so it might be either 1.5 to 2%. So either way, so first off, if you have certain markers, you may be what's called a lean mass hyperresponder. If you haven't watched some videos, Dr. Dave Feldman and Nick Norwitz do a fabulous job. It's something that they are studying and working on. And so in order to be considered a lean mass hyperresponder, right, you have an LDL of 200 or higher. You have an HDL of 80 or higher, and you have a triglyceride of 70 or lower, right? And so for me, I don't quite fit the lean mass hyperresponder matrix. Now, with that being said, do these numbers concern me? No. But let's look, right? So we have total cholesterol is 207, not worried about that. Triglycerides, they're 61. That's awesome. HDL, right? They have it the scary red. I'm out of range. I have too much. It's 89. So one of the things that I've seen, and I don't know in the scheme of things if this is super high quality or just a guesstimate, but they talk about having your triglyceride to HDL ratio less than 2. So if you take my numbers, my 61 and my 89, divide those, you get about 0.69. And so my ratio is less than 2, obviously, because it's 0.69. And so I should have a low probability of having a heart attack. Now, if you check out one of my other videos I made on getting a CAC score, coronary artery calcium score, which is a CT scan of your heart, my CAC score is 0. And so I have a very slim chance of having a heart attack within the next 10 years. So again, even though they have the HDL as the scary red color, I'm not too concerned about it. Also the LDL cholesterol, right? So if people don't understand, and unless you get an NMR test, this is a calculated score. So they don't really know, right? They say my score is 103, but that's based off of a calculation that they used. They didn't actually count it. So just be aware of that. And honestly, 103, I am so not worried about it, right? It was debunked back in like the 1950s that dietary cholesterol did not cause heart disease. So why we're still on that rodeo, I have no idea. The only thing I can think of is that there's certain companies that are making a lot of money by convincing people they need to lower their LDL cholesterol. So look at the Framingham study, look at the UCLA health study, I believe is what it's called. And they show that you don't need to worry about your dietary cholesterol, and you need cholesterol, right? You actually need cholesterol for brain health. And one of the things that I believe, and this is just my belief, and science is starting to support it, is being that our society, at least in America, and I know other parts of the country or world have this problem also, is that being predominantly carbohydrate based and trying to keep the meat levels down has caused higher rates of Alzheimer's, dementia, autism in children, right? We're seeing autism at a rate that has never been around. Why? Because they've convinced us to eat a bunch of grains and veggies and lay off the meat. right? We need the saturated fat. We need to make the cholesterol so our brains can function. I believe that's why we have so much depression and anxiety, right? So eat the meat. Eat red meat in particular. You can have pork and fish and chicken, if it suits you, right? I don't do well with pork. So, but don't be afraid of the saturated fat and the dietary cholesterol, right? Keep your triglyceride to HDL ratio below 2. Get your CAC score. I'm getting a CIMT, which they do an ultrasound of your carotid artery, and they can look at the plaque that's in there and give you another estimate for heart health. So I just wanted to put that out there for you. Let me know what your numbers are. I'm actually getting another panel done on Valentine's, and so I'll see if this is like massively different or if it's relatively the same. But I'd like to see what your panels are. Are you ketogenic, ketovore, carnivore? And are you worried about the numbers show? Or have you decided that the ranges are just bullshit, which is what I've decided? So I hope this helps somebody out there. And with that, I wish you a blessed day.